Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Friday. Welcome to this episode of the Redbeard Podcast. You're listening to it on Friday, but guess what? It's Thursday night, and we are excited to actually talk to you guys about Deadpool 2, which we just got out of. The movie was excellent, but you're going to have to stick around to hear our review. A couple other things going on in the entertainment world. Cooley and I have actually kind of changed our perspectives on the movies that we talked shit about last week. I wasn't a big fan of the Predator trailer. Cooley's not really looking forward to Solo, but that stuff may have changed a little bit, so stick around to see why our perspectives have shifted. And Jim has some interesting news. I just found this out today that Nev from Catfish was accused of sexual assault. What? Crazy. The guy who actually, tries to catch catfishes is also up to some weird shit himself. So take a listen and comment after the episode.
Redbeard Podcast is brought to you by these cool dudes.
And we're back.
Yes.
Guys, we just saw Deadpool 2, and I got Jim Rock and Cooley. Guys, what's going on?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, nice to see an advanced screening of
Very
a
nice.
killer movie.
Hell yeah. Guys, I have to say, man,
thanks to the woman behind the curtain.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out and say thanks to my wife for hooking us up with these tickets to get to see Deadpool before it came out. It was kind of a closed screening, so shout out to Becca for hooking us up with that. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just guys, I was so psyched to see this movie. I was looking forward to it for a while. I loved the first Deadpool, as I think everybody did. But I mean, this movie was so damn good. I have so many thoughts. I mean, I'm going to open up the table.
Spoilers. Should we be like, spoiler alert? This movie hasn't hit theaters?
There is totally going to be spoilers. So, I mean, guys, if you haven't seen Deadpool yet or you don't want to know anything, you might want to turn the episode off and come back later. But for now, there's definitely going to be some spoilers. It's a review. That's what this is. So, you know what's up. So, just off the bat, Cooley, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You know a lot about Deadpool and Cable from the comics.
I know everything.
Everything. So some things. What did you think? What did you think of Josh Brolin's portrayal of Cable? Because, like I said, I know very little about him, and I was curious as to what your thoughts were.
Well,
okay.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, man. Cable was he was dope. He was great. Mm-hmm. And he portrayed the character well, and the character was awesome on his own. But there were some real huge inconsistencies with the character as far as his origins and like where he came from and how he became the man that he is. So I was a little disappointed in that. And I want to say a little disappointed just because I have come to expect very little from Fox in general. I expected more from, Ryan Reynolds and crew just because of how perfectly they nailed Deadpool in the first movie and the second. And it just seems like so they did a great job with getting his personality, Cable's personality and Cable's, his abilities and the body sliding, which is what they call time travel in Deadpool world, or teleporting. It's really cool, but it's not him.
I mean, I'll say that, Josh Brolin, for one, is having an awesome year. I mean, obviously he played Thanos and killed it, and there was references to that in Deadpool to kind of make fun of that. But the one thing I thought was, and this isn't to throw any like jabs at the movie specifically, because I honestly think that this Deadpool 2 was better than the first. I'll just go on record and say that I thought it was better than the first. I loved it.
Are we all in agreement on that? Do we all agree that Deadpool 2 might be better than the first one?
I liked it better than the first.
Because I'd probably say above everything, I think it was better than the original as well.
Okay. I don't know what you think. We can come back to that if you don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Cable's backstory aside.
No, I know where I stand on it. I feel like it's equal to the first. Okay. The first, for me, like the first in each series, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Deadpool, movies like this, they broke ground. They were. It's a landmark film. I can't say that something else is better, like a sequel to that film is better than the first one, just because the first one was totally unexpected. I expected this from this movie. Mm-hmm. So the first movie took me completely by surprise and blew me away. Like, and just from just how he had it made and like the story behind it and leaking the footage that he leaked to get fans behind it and make them clamor for it. And when they clamored for it, made the studio like take notice and give him the reins to create this thing. All of those things factor into me making Deadpool, the first Deadpool, the special movie that it is. This one, it can't top that because of those reasons. It just makes it that.
Yeah, but I mean, you're also going back to the fact that it was the first time you had ever seen Deadpool done right, so it's going to kind of hold a special place in your heart. You know,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it can't. So other things can't top it, but it can match it.
You can match it, right?
And it did.
For me, I mean, back to my original point with I mean, obviously acknowledging that, I think that, you know, even though I really enjoyed Cable, I feel like he kind of just came into play, and we didn't really explain anything about him. All we knew is what happened to his family and why he was there,
which he doesn't have in the comics. He doesn't have a wife and kid. His nemesis is Apocalypse and not this kid or Russell, right? He's also the son of Jean Grey and Cyclops.
Oh, okay.
In the present, who is infected with a techno-organic virus, which is why he has that mechanical arm and stuff like that, and he gets sent into the future where there's the only known cure for the virus. There's a lot of stuff like that happened in the Inferno comics that, or the Inferno storyline in the comics that you just probably couldn't do in this movie. So I get a lot of that. There could have been a reference to Cyclops and Jean Grey. It's Fox. They own all the rights to these things. So that could have totally been done, especially since you had that room full of X-Men, right? Obviously, they had the budget. They had the go-ahead from the studio to use those guys for even a second.
Right.
I would have used them differently by explaining the origin of Cable in maybe a short burst. Or if you're going to skip that, like, I mean, at least let his explain that his future is a piece of shit because of Apocalypse, right? And he's coming back in time to get this kid because maybe this kid is the catalyst to all the shit that brings Apocalypse into power. Maybe this kid is the vessel for Apocalypse, his next body or whatever. Who knows, right? So there's a lot of things that they could have done with that and just do maybe 5 minutes out of the entire movie could have been used just to explain a little bit or to give us a little taste of who Cable is, where he came from, and kind of not use the my family thing.
Right,
because but I get it because they did the whole family thing with Deadpool and they wanted to give them two a connection or whatever. But I just think they went about it the wrong way.
I mean, I and Jim, jump in on this in a sec, but I honestly just feel, like I said, we're putting some things aside. I don't want people to get the misconception that like there was a lot wrong with this movie. I feel like there was so much that they did right, and I feel like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is phenomenal as he was in the first. He was hilarious. There were a lot of like laugh out loud moments for me in the theater, which normally isn't like a thing that I do. Like something actually has to be really funny to make me actually laugh out loud. And there were actually a lot of funny moments in this. One other thing that I just want to, it's something that I kind of realized tonight in the theater, is Deadpool is a character that constantly breaks the fourth wall. And normally I feel like that can get a little old pretty quick. But I think one of the things that Deadpool does right when they break the fourth wall is that they make the audience feel like it becomes more of like an intimate experience in the theater where like you're all in on the joke with Deadpool. He's like telling you all the secrets. He kind of like brings you into his world and you feel like you just kind of you're there with him, where I feel like sometimes if you break the fourth wall, it actually takes you out of out of the movie, and you're like, you keep remembering you're in a theater. And like, even though it did that though, I was completely engrossed in it. Like I just thought like they do it so well, and it's so perfectly timed that it makes it just a great experience. I don't know. Go ahead, Jim. Some stuff.
I completely agree. Before I start getting to Deadpool, I want to go back to Cable. Cable might have been a little weak. You're right about his storyline. I understand. I think maybe they wanted to move away from the Apocalypse storyline because Apocalypse was done so poorly in the previous Fox installment of X-Men that maybe they wanted to go into another direction. I'm not saying that that's a smart move because it kind of alienates some of the people who are big comic book fans.
Well, I mean, I think they could have really killed that with, especially in this franchise where Deadpool was done so horrendously the first time we got to see him in the Fox franchise.
And they did a great job in a post-credit scene of kind of putting that situation to bed
that was
in
awesome.
Hilarious fashion. I thought...
Nail in the coffin.
I thought Josh Brolin, his personality was extremely deadpan, really didn't bring a whole lot of emotion to it, which I can understand. His fight scenes were amazing. I thought his overall appearance was amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought his cybernetic kind of like his hologram shield and how some of his weapons worked was awesome.
Yep.
I felt like his personality was a little subpar. And that's a small problem that I had with this movie. Because overall, I had already stated, I think this was better than the first one.
Right.
And overall entertainment, I know that the first Deadpool movie was unexpected. You know, we didn't expect it to be that good. And it blew up and it became a fan favorite. And who didn't love Deadpool? He was such a good character. This one, you already... going into it, expect it to be a good movie, and it didn't disappoint in any way. And that's what I thought was awesome. Deadpool, I thought was the character completely stole the show, which again was expected.
Well, for me, it was Domino, man. Domino stole the show for me. Her abilities, like her powers, the way that they brought that to life on the camera. Because how do you bring luck to life in the camera? I
was going to get to that. Deadpool is a ton of fun. He's hysterical. He's got more witty one-liners. I also want to mention he makes almost as much fun of DC as he does with Marvel. He makes a lot of DC references, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Domino was a great addition to this movie.
I agree.
She was like the living Final Destination.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought that her action sequences were awesome. They played out in a perfect cinematic way, and it was very enjoyable.
I will say that one of my favorite characters that I did not expect to be one of my favorite characters was the cab driver. I don't know, you say Dopinder. Yeah, him, and played by Karan Sani. I thought that guy was like, he was hilarious because he has a very small part compared to everybody else in the film, but like when he's on screen, he was killing me. You know what I mean? Like he's just so funny. Like the weird like interview with the vampire references about like drinking blood and like the really Kirsten Dunst shit that he's like, and then he's like, I want to bathe in the blood of your victims. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? Like it's so random.
When they hired Peter, and he was like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, that was great. I like so good. And I like when they're in the bar, and he goes, "I don't really understand." He goes, how holding this broom is going to make me understand how to like hold a gun?" And he's like, "It'll all make sense." He's like, "All right." He
goes, "They both have handles."
Oh, they both have handles. Yeah, like he just accepts the bullshit. Yeah. And another call out, obviously, like T.J. Miller is just still that great comic relief.
He's the fucking man.
I mean, just he's always had really good comedic, awkward timing, but I feel like sometimes when you have a movie that is mostly comedy, you might kind of just like go under the radar, but he's one of those actors that is the comic relief in a movie that's already comedy.
Yeah, like that shows you how funny he is.
He's so funny. He's so awkward and he's so like nonchalant.
Dude, when he was about to get tortured, was
good.
The funniest part.
He's like, you're not going to tell me. Then he just looks at him. He goes, they're in the warehouse or whatever. What the fuck he said. I like when he goes, so what we're going to do, 1, we're going to do this, and then 2, and he goes, you can just stop at 1 because I'm not going to get past that.
I also want to point out another character, and this is a spoiler alert. Did you guys know that Juggernaut was going to be in this movie? I did not.
No.
I knew he was going to be
You
in
knew?
the movie. Yeah.
I didn't.
He was done so much better than the Vinnie Jones version from X3.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So much better. Looked like the Juggernaut.
Talked like the Juggernaut.
Felt like the Juggernaut. Deadpool, at least in what they lacked in Cable, I feel like totally brought forth what should have always been Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would say that my only disappointment is that they keep doing my boy wrong, man. Colossus is one of my favorite characters, and they just make him a joke in both movies, man. It's sad.
Well, he brings more comedy to the screen than actually like, strength, I feel. You know what I mean? He's like a soft Colossus.
He's like
an
such
oxymoron.
Well, he's a soft dude. Like, I mean, he's an artist and like a poet and like, well, he's not a poet. He's an artist. But you want to
see his sheer strength when needed.
Yeah,
and he does, but not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, you kind of felt like, especially when he was about to fight Juggernaut, and you hear Deadpool say, "Here comes a great CGI fight," and it was really Juggernaut just beating the shit out of Colossus.
Yes, I mean, and I kind of get that. I mean, Juggernaut should beat the shit out of anybody that he fights.
Yep.
Like, he's an unstoppable force.
Yeah, I mean, here's another shout out just to somebody else that was in it. I know you guys don't watch this show, but the guy who played the headmaster, Eddie Marsan, that guy is actually, he kind of surprised me in this movie because he actually is, he plays Ray Donovan's brother in Ray Donovan, and he actually has Parkinson's. And he's got like a heavy like Boston accent because that's where Ray Donovan is from. And seeing him in this movie be a complete 180 from what I'm used to seeing him in was kind of a shocker for me because I haven't seen him in anything else besides
Who is
Ray
he in
Donovan.
the movie?
He's the headmaster.
Oh, I got you.
And I thought he did a great job. As creepy as he's supposed to be, like he really did pull that off well. And even Becca, like she doesn't watch Ray Donovan, but she was like, why do I like recognize him? She's like, I know him from something. And I was like, oh, it's Ray Donovan's brother. She's like, oh my God. She's like, he's doing such a good job. Like he was just like one of those people, one of those actors that people might not really even know him from anything, but I knew who he was, and he did a great job. So small side character, but awesome.
Skipping ahead to an actor that we all know, spoiler alert, how cool was it, the cameo with Brad Pitt?
That was unexpected, but awesome as well.
Super unexpected. And for any of you that watched the movie and didn't catch it, the Vanisher, the invisible man in the X-Force, when he grabs onto the power lines and gets electrocuted, shows his face, and it is clearly Brad Pitt.
It is. You know what's funny, man? So Jim and I actually had this experience, and I'll tell the story
I did not
quick.
see it the first time, though.
So I'll definitely mention this. So I remember when you and I went to, it was you, me, Becca, and Jared. We went to L.A. And we were on the Sony lot. And my cousin who works for Sony actually gave us a tour. And we're walking through the lot, and all of a sudden, like we hear like this like huge motorcycle coming through. And all of a sudden, like
and I wouldn't let him pass.
Well, yeah. There was one part where you were like, "What is this? Like Sons of Anarchy?" But like this guy comes up on his motorcycle. He's got his helmet on, whatever, and like he kind of stops, and we're at like, who's gonna let who go? But then like we waved him on, and he went. And then later on, my cousin texted me later, and she goes, "Hey," she's like, "You know that guy on the motorcycle?" She's like, "That like we were at a intersection with that we let go." She goes, "Yeah, that was Brad Pitt." So it's like he was on the motorcycle less than 10 feet in front of me. Had no idea it was him because he had his helmet on, and I'm like,
sure, though?
No, she confirmed it. She was like, because he came back to the Sony lot to record something for like a voiceover for a movie, and then he bounced. And he was actually on the Sony lot getting lunch in like the cafeteria before we arrived. And she's like, "You guys just missed it." She's like, "Brad Pitt was here. He was in the commissary like getting lunch, and like he must have just left." And then like a half hour later, this guy takes off on a motorcycle, and everybody was like, "Yeah, the dude on the motorcycle, totally Brad Pitt." I'm like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" He was less than 10 feet from me.
And
was this Legends of the Fall Brad Pitt, or was this?
This
like,
was what, like this was 2010 Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Yep. No, this wasn't Legends of the Fall. Long hair Brad Pitt from, what was that, 95?
And
California.
California.
I'm going to unnecessarily and
California
selfishly toot my own horn and say, while we were crossing and Brad Pitt was waiting, I took my sweet ass time and I stared him down because I'm a dick. Because sometimes I can be a dick for no reason. And I don't know. I probably wasn't a big part in his life. But I want to believe that he was kind of like, "Let's go, get out of the way." And maybe he had a little intercom in his helmet where he was talking to Angelina Jolie. And he's like, "This fucking asshole isn't getting out of the way. Move."
You could have that fantasy.
Oh my God. I did take a long time.
Was it Angelina Jolie or Jennifer Aniston
at the time? It was Angelina Jolie.
All right.
Yeah, by that time, yeah, definitely. Because they had already filmed Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But regardless, I mean, Brad Pitt has a cameo in Deadpool. Were there any other cameos that we missed? That
I mean,
I feel like they had a lot.
The friggin' Skarsgård kid was in it.
Oh, Billy Skarsgård. Yeah, that was cool.
He was in it, and
so Becca caught me off guard. She goes, "The guy who played It's in this movie," and I went, "Tim Curry?" And then I'm like, wait a minute, he wouldn't be able to do that because he had a stroke. She's like, "No, the new." I was like, "Of course, yeah, Bill Skarsgård." And then I saw him on the plane. I had stepped out of the theater to take one of my 3 pisses that I take at every movie.
Yep, your P Trinity.
Well, there's one at the beginning.
Trinipre.
Yeah, one at the beginning, one in the middle, and then after. So it's just whatever. But anyway, they made fun of Dave Matthews. What do they say? Basically,
I don't know. They badmouthed him.
Yeah, something about like his music sucked or something.
Well, no, it was just you got to see it. Like I can't remember
It's like a bane on his existence. Something fun.
I'm gonna end up going again, and I'll catch the joke.
Yeah. It's okay. He was still the biggest draw in the 90s.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a lie. The 2000s. 90s was Metallica.
You know who I actually would have liked to see a little bit more from in this movie, and there was some cool stuff. Megasonic Teenage Warhead. I wanted to see a little bit more from her.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she is just
because she lost weight.
Well, she did definitely, but I think that's more puberty. But I honestly feel like she thinned out. She looks awesome in this movie, and she's just such a powerhouse. And I wanted to see her really like maybe have some kind of effect helping like Colossus with Juggernaut, because like her and Colossus teamed up in the last movie, and I felt like that was kind of like a moment where they could have teamed up again, and they just didn't.
Yeah.
But I just thought she's such a cool character, but she was a little unused in this movie, I think.
I like Yukio.
Yeah, she was cool. Yeah.
Hey, Yukio.
Hey. Yeah,
every time he sees her. Hey, Yukio.
I also think one of the great things that Deadpool does is he got me the first time was when he fake died.
Yeah.
And like keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Like those are great moments, man. Like it was so good.
And I got a feeling that the Blu-ray when it releases that there are going to be deleted scenes out the ass on this DVD.
Not to mention, I hope there's more of like a blooper reel. There has to be with Ryan Reynolds.
But the thing is, like, if you notice, like, if you watched any of the trailers, every one of the trailers had like a different punchline.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like they didn't give you anything from the movie. Like they gave you some, like they showed you the scene, but like the lines and the the actual like punchline for the jokes and stuff like that, they were all different.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like it was nice because like you still got surprised by the joke and you still laughed, even though you expect it. You're sitting there and you're waiting for the thing that you saw in the trailer, and it's like it's not coming. Like you're getting all new shit. So
Yeah.
it was like really cool of them to like actually give you, like pay attention to that and give you something that you just didn't expect
Totally.
going in there.
I will say, I just want to throw this out there and give you guys a heads up, just because so you don't have to stick around. But there is no after credit scene after all the credits have passed, so don't feel like you have to stick around for that. But there are like 4 or 5 like after credit scenes that kind of happen, I would say, between 1 and 2 minutes when the credits start. Do we want to talk about those, or do we want to leave those?
Let's let people see those.
Yeah.
Those are like little bonus things.
I feel like I hinted at one earlier.
Yeah.
But
And
they are worth watching.
Because I'm kind of on the fence. Like, I'm so excited about them, but I really want people to actually have the opportunity to kind of experience them like we did. So yeah, just stick around. But after you see like the 4 or 5, and you know the credits have been rolling for a good like minute, that you can bounce.
We'll talk about them another time, though.
We'll talk about them next week after it's been out for a little bit.
All in all, though, Deadpool 2, awesome movie. Listeners should definitely go see it.
Oh my God, go see it.
It's worth the money.
Yeah, it's one movie that will not disappoint, in my opinion. I actually, personally, I gave this, like, this app that I use, asked me to, like, rate the movie before, and I gave it, like, going in, I was like, I'm going to give it a 9. And then, like, when I left, I bumped it up to a 9.5 because there were, like, small things.
Because you're that dick that couldn't go to 10.
No.
What the fuck?
I gave it a 9.5 because I was like, I would have liked to know a little bit more about Cable. That's all. I felt like that was lacking. But, I mean, a 9.5 out of a 10, I didn't give it a 0.5 more. I mean, like, that's
saying, like,
that's all, man. I mean, but like I said, I mean, I don't think I've ever been to a necessarily perfect movie.
Infinity War.
Well, I disagree on that.
For me, that was a perfect
But
movie.
I know it was for you. I know it was for you. But, I mean, honestly, a movie that you give a 9.5 out of a 10, I mean, go see the damn movie. So good.
Before we move on, do we think there will be a Deadpool 3?
I think they left it open for one, but I don't know. I feel like they would be stupid to not do a Deadpool 3 because it's a cash cow.
Yeah, I want to see that Muppet movie.
The one at the beginning. Yeah, that
Shit
shit
looks hilarious.
That crosses some lines, dude, with the fucking silly string.
Yeah,
the
it was
Muppets
so
like jizzing on the walls. And
So
yes, I
good.
did just say that.
Yes.
So go check.
Fuck me. I might.
After she does X.
What was the name of that movie? The something murders.
The Muppet Murders, right?
No,
I
it
don't know.
wasn't.
No, not that.
It stars Melissa McCarthy. Let's be honest, not all of her movies have been.
No, but this looks like
Hits.
it's going to be one of those movies. People have to go see this after seeing this trailer.
It's like the Fuzzy Town Murders. I'm trying to fill time.
Yeah, but
before I can
I mean,
look
like
up
these,
what this movie
these
is.
in the trailer, these Muppets are vulgar as hell. They're saying like fucking shit.
Oh yeah, it's like the South Park version
Yeah.
of the Muppets.
Well, they prefaced it at the beginning of the trailer. They're like, "What happened? Like, what happens with the Muppets when the kids aren't around?"
it's
The
called
Happy Time
the Happy
Murders.
Time Murders.
Happy Time
Yep.
Murders. I mean, you guys, I'm pretty sure that you could find the trailer online at this point, but it was a great trailer. It looks like a movie. That's
I'm going to
definitely
assume that it was the Red Band trailer,
probably.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it had to be. Yeah. But you could probably find it on YouTube.
but it definitely looks funny. Hopefully, these weren't the best scenes of this movie that they showed in the trailer, because it looked like something I would want to see.
It looked like it was like the Deadpool of Muppet movies.
Get high and check out this movie.
Hell yeah. One of the other movies just that they did show that I hadn't seen in theaters yet that I was pretty excited I got to see was The Predator. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Yo, Cooley, what's going on, man?
Not much, bro. What's up?
Pretty good, man. So, dude, do you when it comes to investing, do you get all this stuff about stocks? Does it make sense to you?
Yo, I'm the best. Not. I'm not really that great at it. I do it, but it's more of a dabbling thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not a master at this. I would like to know more. I'm always wondering if I'm going to invest my money in the right places. But a good place to get this stuff started is at supplyanddemandinvesting.com.
Yo, so true. Stop following the modern portfolio theory investment crowd and try an alternative means of investing your hard-earned money at supplyanddemandinvesting.com.
And for a limited time, submit any 5 stocks, mutual funds, or exchange-traded funds and receive a free SDI analysis on each.
Simply go to supplyanddemandinvesting.com/redbeard. That's us. Fill out the form along with your selections, and you'll receive your free SDI analysis within 48 to 72 hours.
Go to supplyanddemandinvesting.com/redbeard for your free analysis today.
And thanks to supplyanddemandinvesting.com for their continued support of the Redbeard Podcast.
What is Jay and Jack's Ramblecast? The Ramblecast is a podcast about television, movies, current events, and anything else our listeners want to talk about. We sit down weekly to give our take on what's going on in the world, and we have a lot of fun doing it, typically at the expense of one or all of our hosts. Join Jay, Jack, Nick from Tennessee, and me, Chris in Boston, as we pull no punches, giving our opinions on everything from our favorite music and TV shows to the hostile takeover of sex robots. Subscribe today.
And you guys can find the Ramblecast on iTunes. And we are back, guys. So let's get into it. The Predator, the trailer, was out in the theater today. I saw it before Deadpool started, and it was freaking awesome.
Oh, you was going to start rapping.
Nah. Yo, Predator, Gauntlet, theater, saw it, trailer. I'm just hitting all my bullet points from the get-go. But we talked about this enough, and I was ultra passionate last episode about the Predator. And Cooley told me to fuck off, which was great. But basically,
like, how is it different?
How is it different? Fuck off. But no, I mean, like, I got super passionate about it, and I've had a lot of time, being a week, which just seemed like an eternity in some respects, to digest this trailer and watch it several times. But I came up across an article on Twitter that somebody had interviewed Shane Black, and he talked a little bit about the Predator. I'm willing to give this movie a shot. More of a shot that I did when I talked about it last time, because there's been some new developments. So they're going to do, well, let's just say this. One of the guys who was actually cast as the Predators, like, one of my concerns was like, oh, the Predators don't move like Kevin Peter Hall did and blah, blah, blah. Well, one of the guys is like 8 feet tall, and I guess he sent in an audition tape, and he's like a parkour expert, and he was hired to actually play one of the Predators. So that definitely has a big impact on the way that he moves. And the Predator's going to be like more agile. He's going to be more like have a lot of different ways that they can move, and like the stuff that I think we haven't seen yet from the Predator. I feel like some of it was touched upon in the first and second movie, but they're not going to look like AVP football guys in like a Predator suit running around. They're going to be like, doing a lot of cool different movements. So I think that will show like how they are as hunters. And I'm looking forward to seeing that, as nerdy as it sounds. The one thing I don't necessarily care for is the hybrid Predator is going to be 10 feet tall, but it's all CGI. And that's the only thing that I'm not too psyched about, because I've never seen a full CGI Predator before, and I don't know how the hell that's going to look on film. Because I feel like Shane Black is for practical effects in a lot of ways. And I know that you can't find like a 10-foot guy to play a hybrid Predator, but I feel like they still could have found a way to make the Predator a hybrid Predator and look stronger and more agile, whatever, or supreme in some ways, without doing it all CGI. So we'll see how that works on film, but I've just heard a lot of like that parkour guy playing the Predator was something that really kind of interested me, and I'm glad that's happening.
In Infinity War, again, perfect movie, Thanos was actually entirely CGI. And he was like 10 feet tall. Like, so like, I mean, like, I think, and if you
but
look
he's also a superhero though. And you can tell he's CGI when you look at him though. You know what I'm saying?
No, when you look at him though, like he looked like Josh Brolin in makeup almost. Like I thought he looked pretty damn real.
I mean,
You could tell he's CGI because there's nobody out there that looks like that. But
Well,
you could say the same thing about a Predator. You know what I mean? Like
totally. I just feel like like I said, I've never seen a Predator done CGI before, and I feel like if I know that's coming ahead of time,
and I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of relief in seeing something like I thought that was like super impressive CGI.
it was, and
Like,
I agree with you,
Thanos.
and
Like,
it
so-
might be really good. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm
Yeah.
willing to give it a little bit of like a shot. Like I want to see this 10-foot Predator. It could
Because
probably be pretty badass.
Thanos could have looked like Shrek. I mean,
Yeah, he could have totally.
and he didn't. So
The dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are CGI.
Yeah, good
And I
call.
think we all can say that that's pretty
Absolutely.
dope.
Yeah, and that was what, like 15, 20 years ago? I mean, seriously,
There's
that's a good
hope.
call out. There is.
My question for you is: this guy does parkour.
Here we
The
go.
guy that
He does
the
some
Predator.
stupid shit
He
coming
does
up.
parkour, but does he know ballet?
I knew you were gonna bring that up. Let's preface this last podcast. They always crack on the fact that I mentioned that Kevin Peter Hall was an expert ballet and martial artist, which leads to why he was a very
Very
good
very
limber.
graceful
He was,
Predator.
he was a graceful, but very good at. He was very good at character creature movement, and that's all I'm gonna say. So, but this guy, like I said, parkour, man, is definitely gonna give him some moves that we haven't seen Predators do before. The only time I've ever seen a Predator do something straight out of the comics was when they did. It was a very quick CGI shot, but me and my cousin loved it. Was in the first AVP movie, where one of the girls is like fighting the aliens. You actually see the Predator jump up, do like a flip, and then come down and stab the queen alien in the head with a spear. And that was straight out of the comic books. Like, and I've actually rewound that and slowed it down because it's just so badass.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that we
Me
actually
too.
get to see more of that shit. Fuck you, man. So,
Hey, can I go back to Deadpool for 1 second?
Hey, go back to Deadpool.
The race jokes were friggin' hilarious.
Oh yeah, especially when he's
Black
dying.
Tom.
I like
Yeah,
when,
the Black Tom Cassidy
I
stuff
like when
was
he's
like
when Deadpool's dying and he's giving everybody something. He goes, "I just hope that you don't judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their
Context of
character," which is obviously a Martin Luther King reference, but it was so freaking good.
that was awesome. And like when Black Tom Cassidy introduces himself to him and he goes, "I'm White Wade Wilson."
Yo, what are the other
to meet you.
What are the other things in Deadpool? Not to get back on Deadpool, that really made me laugh. What's his name? Black what? What the hell's his name?
Black Tom Cassidy?
Yeah. So when they're on the bus and he goes, ha, 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 and then he gets shot right away. Like that shit killed me because I thought he was gonna have a moment and he just got killed right
And he was
away.
like, "You killed Black Tom, you racist motherfucker!"
And then you lost it. You lost it on that. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It was the best, man.
Oh,
my God.
all right. And here, because bringing it full circle, because I asked you about this earlier. What did Court think of the movie? Did you ask her after it was over?
I did.
What did she say?
It's all right.
We're all giving it like 9.5s, and I clearly saw her laughing her ass off, and I guess that is like just okay.
It was all right.
Some people
Yeah.
are not fan nerds like we are.
Oh God, she's funny, man. But anyway, back to Predator. I like I said, I mean, there's just a lot of things I read. I heard that that Shane Black also went back to do reshoots to actually bring back some practical effects.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool, and also it's supposed to definitely take place. It starts on the evening of Halloween in 2018 because there were like some questions like, "Oh, is it Halloween?" Well, that's exactly when it is.
Great.
Were there
not
really
that
questions that Halloween was going on?
But no. There weren't questions. There weren't questions as to if it was Halloween. They wanted to know if that's when the film was going to take place, or if it was supposed to be like if it's one day, or if it's like just a random timeline in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to take place like on that day for whatever reason. But there's
Because that's like the perfect day for aliens to attack.
Just like some
apparently.
asshole gated community where they're like, "We celebrate Halloween in June."
Who knows, man? But I mean, but like I said, there's I'm looking forward to giving this movie a shot. I'm hoping that we get to see another trailer, obviously, which I think we will before September when this movie comes out. So hopefully that's to come. With that being said, man, like I said, I've kind of changed how I feel about the Predator. You and I were talking earlier, man. You've read some reviews and heard some things about Solo, a Star Wars story. And why has your perspective changed? What have you heard? What's up?
And I've watched clips. Really, is what it was, and the clips were very very well written and captured the spirit of
Lando?
Oh, no, that didn't capture the spirit of Lando. Fucking Lando was fucking spot on.
All right.
Captured the spirit of Han though, in the
Wow,
scene with
those
Lando.
are big words.
In the scene with Lando, the actor didn't surprise me. Let's put it that way. Like I wasn't like, oh, Alden Heinrich or whatever, Heimlich, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know.
Heimlich, the Heimlich maneuver.
Einenreich or whatever. It wasn't like, oh my God, he's perfect. Like he didn't change my mind, but the way that the scene played out and the way that Lando like kind of carried the scene, yo, dope.
So it basically instilled a little bit more faith in him as Han.
Instilled a little bit more faith in
The movie as a whole.
Fuck, man, I was
As a
trying to
whole.
get one out of you, but
I know
all right,
you're
no,
not,
it's fine.
I don't think I'll ever. One thing I will say though, one thing I will say about this kid is I've watched interviews with him,
Yeah.
and not for nothing, he's a lot more enthusiastic about being Han Solo than fucking what's his name, Harrison Ford ever was.
Well, yeah, but I also feel like
Harrison Ford doesn't give two fucks about being Han Solo
No, that's why he's
or being
dead.
in Star Wars.
what?
No, it's true. No,
That's
it's
why his
absolutely
character's
true.
dead. That's why Han
Oh,
Solo
yeah.
is dead.
Oh no, I thought for a second I was like, yo, he's not dead, but
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
wait,
no, Harrison
No, I
Ford
know
is
that. I know
alive.
that. Yeah, no. It's
How
so-
he's still alive, I will never know. But he's alive.
I think it's he's
No,
not
but he
that
just
old, but-
doesn't care.
Yeah, but here's my thing though, and
It's like the Keith Richards of acting.
I don't know, man. Look, I think Harrison Ford has done so many friggin' movies. I feel like Star Wars for him is like ancient. He did it so long ago. It was like his first thing. He's done so much since then. And I feel like he's just tired of hearing about it, which, in my opinion, I feel like if you got to hear about a movie that you did 40 years ago or more, just like over and over and over again, and that's like what you're most well known for, I feel like maybe it can get a little tiring, and that's maybe why he just wanted to close it out, because I don't think he's going to be acting for another 20 years. I think like Harrison Ford is in like the back nine of his life, and he's just like finishing out some characters. He's going to do Indiana Jones again. That's already been confirmed, and he's probably going to close out that character with the final, Jones movie.
And you'll
But-
be able to hear his voice in The Secret Life of Pats 2
Sick.
next year.
So, I mean, I think, in my opinion, he wanted this character to just when he made Star Wars, I don't think he expected it to be as big as it was. And after Star Wars became such a hit, fucking mega $1 million movie or series or whatever, why wouldn't this kid be enthusiastic to play this character? Because it's been built up for how many years? Like when Harrison Ford went into it, it was like no one had heard of Han Solo before.
But why wouldn't Harrison Ford be enthusiastic about being Han Solo? That's what I don't understand. Like,
You mean like now or you mean back then?
No, like now, like even back then, like he wasn't enthusiastic about
Yeah,
it. He
no,
didn't
it's
really,
always been a thing.
Yeah, he has never really given a shit.
I feel like maybe it was just one of those movies that he never really thought was going to be much of anything, and I
It
feel like
was. But when it happens, like if you like, what is it? Almost Human.
oh god,
What if that? No. What if
that was
that?
a great
What if that
movie.
became a? Huh?
it was a great movie, but
Well,
it's
I'm
just
just
a
saying.
weird
What
reference.
if it became a cult classic, and you had people coming up to you all the time? Oh my God, your character in Almost Human, right?
right?
Let's just say.
We know that it wouldn't happen. But let's just
Let's just
You,
say.
bro.
but let's
Not
just-
because it was
No,
bad,
but-
because it's so like it's just under the radar.
Because,
but like,
yeah,
what
it
was-
But dude, all right,
wasn't
let's
bad.
not talk shit about that movie because
I'm not. No, it was
because
a
it was
good
fucking
movie.
great.
I'm
I
just
love that
saying what.
movie.
I'm just saying
No,
what if.
good reasons.
I'm just saying what if. What if that happened, and like 40 years from now, people are still coming up to you. Would you be like, "Ah, man, I fuck that movie," right?
But
like,
no, but I'm a different person than Harrison Ford.
that's what I'm saying. No, I'm just saying it's very weird. But I mean, I don't know how you could come to that.
But maybe,
the defense
but dude,
of him.
maybe he's not like. Maybe he doesn't. He's not an invested. Like, look, everybody takes on a character. Well, every actor, I think, takes on a character at some point in their life that they're very passionate about. They connect with that character more than any of the other characters that they have played. And I feel like maybe Han Solo just wasn't his favorite character. I feel like maybe Indiana Jones was. Maybe Blade Runner was. Like, maybe these movies meant more to him than Star Wars. You know, and I don't think that he appreciates the fact that people still know him for Star Wars, and that's what was his big break. But he might not be as passionate as playing Han Solo as much as it means to other people.
Here's an example.
All right.
This kid that's playing him now goes to meet with Harrison Ford to talk to him about being Han Solo. He goes and meets him, and he agrees to meet him, and they get face to face, and he says, "So I'm gonna be Han Solo in the new Han Solo movie."
Oh God.
And Harrison Ford goes, "You're gonna be who and what now?" Like, he is so disconnected, and I just don't understand how that can be.
Did that happen?
Yes,
Yo, he was probably high as fuck. Yo, Harrison Ford has admitted that like before, like 98% of his roles, he like smoked up, like openly admits that he's high before. Dude, have you guys want to see some crazy shit? Go on YouTube and go to the AFI and look up Harrison Ford accepts the AFI award, and it's like the American Film Achievement Award. This fucking guy, in the American Film Institute Life Achievement Award, he is the most awkward person in public speaking. Like, he was so nervous and whatever, and I feel like he's socially awkward, and I feel like he smokes up before every role so that he can relax a little bit.
Not to get too off topic, but isn't it fucked up that Harrison Ford has played so many iconic characters, and he is such a pothead and is incapable of playing a normal person in real life? And at the same time, Jim Brewer has never smoked in his life and plays an amazing pothead.
No, he smoked weed before, but he's not high as much as people think he is. Yeah. When I saw him at the Comedy Connection, this was like years ago, I was like front row, and Jim Brewer came out and he looked high, and he even goes, "Look at this lady in the front row." She's like, "He's high." He goes, "I'm not high." He goes, "I just look high because one of my eyes is lazy." But yeah, he totally does look like a pothead. But anyway, so besides that though, besides seeing that interview, what else reinstilled your faith in this movie a little bit?
I have made up my mind that I'm going to approach it as a alternate reality telling of the origin of an alternate version of Han Solo.
Jesus Christ. Dude, this is the most disconnected
and it just makes it so much better if I go into it with that mindset.
Oh man, I'm not a big fan of like the new Mortal Kombat game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down, pretend that I'm not playing it, but watching an alternate reality version of myself play it.
That's
like,
such a lie. The new Mortal Kombat game might be the best one.
Oh, yeah. No. But I'm just saying that's kind of what that sounded like. But I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. You're afraid. I think you're super afraid of this movie deep down. That's what I think it is.
I'm not afraid of it at all.
No, I think you are, though.
No, I know exactly what to expect.
Because, dude, this movie, whether you like it or not, is becoming a part of the Star Wars universe.
I know I'm going to love Donald Glover. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to not hate but not love this kid as Han Solo.
Yeah. Did you just blow that drink? I heard that in the fucking microphone like wicked loud.
I apologize. Yes, I'm drinking.
It's possible that I might like him, but I'm not going to. I know I'm not going to love this kid as Han Solo. Period.
That's racist.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow, wicked racist.
That's racist against Han Solo.
I know. I know that. What's her name? Emilia Clarke is going to be okay.
Emilia Clarke is just going to be a cool Daenerys in this movie. Right.
Yeah.
No dragons.
I know Woody Harrelson is probably going to be amazing.
Woody Harrelson's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He's underrated.
And
That's what I'm saying.
And he is a completely functioning pothead. He is someone that in real life smokes just as much weed as Harrison Ford.
He
and
actually
is capable of being a normal human.
He actually admitted recently that he literally like hasn't smoked for a while.
Oh my God! Way to blow my spot on
Well,
people
just-
that I think
I'm just
either
saying,
don't or do smoke
It's
weed.
openly known that he basically came out and said he like turned that shit off a while ago.
I know you can't really fuck up Chewie,
No, because it's a dude in a suit. But then
That
again,
goes,
you can fuck up Predator, right? So
right? So, and I know that I'm
was a bad
probably
Chewie.
going to like Phoebe Waller-Bridge as L3, the droid.
Right.
She's funny as fuck, so she's probably going to be great comic relief.
Yeah, I love her.
Yo, I will say this though. Like I said, I am going into this movie with just going to have fun. And I want to know what you think of that scene where they're like, punch it or whatever. Is that supposed to be the Kessel Run in your opinion? Because that's what I think it is. Like, what is that tunnel they're going through?
No, the Kessel Run is like a smuggling job, I think, or a.
You think that's going to be included?
I don't know.
In this movie?
I don't really know what that shit is. I just know the line that it did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs.
How can they not
Because
touch
they're
upon...
they're gonna do a sequel.
Well, probably.
Oh, they are.
No, of course they are. But this guy didn't sign on for one movie. But like, how the hell? That's got to be at least hinted at some point.
Probably.
Yeah, that's got to be.
It might even be what they end the movie on.
Word.
I
Yeah.
love that you seem to be giving a second chance to the Predator. You are giving a second chance to Solo, a Star Wars story. I still think that Independence Day Resurgence is garbage and one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
You've also seen the movie in its entirety already. We're going in with certain shifted expectations.
No, I know
we all agree that movie was trash.
But I think it's...
Including fucking the guy who played Dr. Oaken that we talked to at Comic-Con was it's not getting a third and we signed for 2.
But I think it's fair to say that you knew that the Predator and Solo is going to be better than Independence Day Resurgence. Just by watching it, you know that they didn't ruin those franchises.
No,
So we're giving
because, dude, that Independence Day Resurgence trailer looked fucking epic, and it was the opposite. It was the opposite.
Do you remember when I watched that trailer and I said, I have my doubts?
Yeah, but I have my doubts now, so I could be in the same place from you 5 months from now.
So we're giving second chances to these movies. Do you think that that Nev from fucking Catfish deserves a second chance?
Jim, you might be able to shed some light on this topic.
Sure,
What's going on?
Would you like me to?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Take us home, Jim.
I
Hollywood
need to
beat
hear
reporter
this.
Jim Kelly is going to give you the heads up on some breaking news. It appears that a woman named Aisha Morgan, who was on a couple of episodes, I believe one episode of Catfish, starring Nev and Silver Fox. I don't know his name.
It's all right. I just need to hear more.
Ha.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.
Anyways,
This crash and burn
this
on
girl,
that joke again.
Aisha Morgan, went to YouTube and put out 2 videos stating, and she didn't use their names, but it was very
She didn't
obvious.
use whose names?
She didn't use Nev's name. She referred to Nev as Jack. And
Even though we know exactly what she's talking about.
we know 100% who these people are. But she went on YouTube and made 2 videos basically stating that Nev is a pervert and that he made a ton of sexual advances towards her. He didn't do anything physically, but he made an exceeding amount of unwanted sexual advances.
Oh, this is so creepy, dude.
She also stated that he is nothing like he is in the show.
Yeah, you saying he has like anger management issues?
She states that he has anger issues that he is seeking therapy for, that he has made multiple outbursts towards people not on the crew, but towards people in general in life.
But let me ask you this. So
during the filming.
But these are speculations or allegations. Have they been confirmed by... Has any of this been confirmed by other sources besides her?
No. As of now, Catfish has been suspended.
That's not a good thing.
No, that's never a good thing. And people are looking into it.
Okay.
She also states that during her work with Catfish, that there was a woman who she named as Carol. Obviously not the real name.
Right.
This was a woman that apparently drugged her and raped her.
Wait. So she worked on the show? Is that what
This was a woman who worked
on
who was
Catfish.
on the crew for Catfish.
Yep.
Who drugged this girl and raped her, or at least allegedly this is what she says.
Right.
She says, going back to Nev, that Nev is an asshole.
Yeah.
That everyone on the crew hates him, does not like working with him, thinks he's a terrible person.
Jesus. Now, but you watched the videos and you said, okay, here
I
we
watched
go.
both of these videos. I urge you to watch them too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard to decipher what's real and what isn't real. I think that if everything that she has stated is a lie, she's a complete and utter psychopath. So I don't believe that everything is just some made up story to try to get money.
But you were telling me that like within the videos there were certain things that were kind of that stuck out that made her seem like she might be a little like unstable.
She does. Unfortunately, this is a video that these were videos that she had put out by herself. She apparently edited them by herself. There are some weird things in there. She makes reference to, hey, I keep looking over to my right. I apologize. There's a mirror to my right, and I keep thinking that ghosts are walking around in my room.
See what I'm saying right there, dude? Just done. Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
No.
In the middle of talking about the sexual assault charges, she talks about her dog, and hey, shout out to my dog. He's really cute. Seems a little awkward. She also mentions, and again, I'm not trying to poke holes in anything. I'm just referring to what is in these videos. She also talks about how she's wasted a lot on the set of Catfish. She drinks a lot, and she states, hey, even though I'm old enough to drink, you are responsible for me because I am in your employ. You should be watching out for my drinking, which I think is a little awkward.
Yeah, you're an adult. Mm-hmm. Well, it's your choice.
I also think
if I'm gonna be the boss that's watching out for your drinking, it's like, okay, you're drinking on the job, you're fired.
Well, apparently she says that a lot of people on this crew are younger individuals, people in their early to mid 20s. So it's kind of a party atmosphere. She also states in this video that she thought that Nev was a perv from the get-go. And yet, multiple times, she decided to come down to Nev's room and hang out with him at 3 a.m. Which seems very awkward to do to begin with.
Yeah, I honestly, man,
And this is shaky ground. Obviously, I'm not saying bad or good, and I'm not saying that she's lying or not in response to what Nev has done. It appears to me that the worst has come from this girl, Carol.
Yeah.
But Nev definitely made her feel uncomfortable. Definitely was one of those... I've definitely done it before where I've been crushing on a girl and the girl wants no part of me, but I can't help it. I have to throw out the fact that I like her.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a little too much. I don't realize that I'm being a weirdo, but I'm just like, oh my God, I really find you attractive and I want to go on a date with you.
You got to play it cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess this
I also hope that whoever I did that to doesn't say that I sexually assaulted them. Man, I put myself in a position saying this outright.
I mean, I will say I think all this is interesting, being the guy who's like, he seeks out the people who are like, playing like two different people and like having different, profiles and pretending to be somebody else. And technically he's if it is true, he's being a hypocrite in himself, playing one person for TV and then playing a separate person behind the camera. I feel like a lot of people are going to lose faith in him as a person, and maybe this show will or will not go on. So I think this is all interesting. I'm definitely going to watch those videos.
Watch them. Apparently, Aisha Morgan, this girl, is a lesbian, and Nev multiple times has said, "How do you know? You should let me have sex with you to find out."
Jesus. Yeah, all
stuff that I did not say.
Yeah.
Atrocious.
Dude, I don't know. We'll see what happens as it develops with Nev and his weirdness, if this is true. In conclusion, I just want to say one more thing before we close out. Me and my buddy Don actually got time to actually sit down and watch the entire YouTube Red series of Cobra Kai, and I highly recommend watching it. It was phenomenal. This series, Cobra Kai, is an example of how to do something and not fuck it up. Literally, I know Cooley's gonna probably have his 2 cents quickly, but Ghostbusters was an example of how not to do something, even though he loved that movie. So
for me, it was an example of how to do something. So
yeah, it's
pound sand. Fuck you.
Yeah, but just saying that's a 70.
And your fucking opinion. How do you like that?
No, it is. It's
Peace.
80% of people agree with me. But anyway, so
80% of people in fucking Mars.
The movie tanked. Anyway, so I will say this.
Tanked in your ass.
Anyway, look up the facts, bro. So Cobra Kai, he's coming back again.
Ass.
See, he's gonna keep coming back. Cobra Kai, though, check it out. Awesome series. They did it so frigging well, and I recommend it. And it got renewed for season 2, so that should say enough in itself. But check it out. There's like 10 episodes. They're 25 minutes apiece. Last episode is 36 minutes. Acting was stellar. Whatever. Awesome. Check it out. With that being said, guys, we will see you next week on the Red Beard Podcast. Go check out Deadpool 2, and we'll keep you posted. See you next week. Peace.
See you later. I love my girlfriend.
Later.